Okay, part 3. This one I'm gonna take on myself. Brain training. In brain training, we are including decision making, scanning, timing, confidence, consistency, those kind of things. For me, it would be S tier, but it's difficult to do this by yourself without any knowledge. If you have experienced coach like for example myself that is specializing in those things, S tier immediately fast improvements, bam bam, you're gonna be a much better football player after developing mental aspects of your game. If you don't know how to do them, it might be a bit more tricky. I will give the voice to Ahmed. Ahmed, what do you think?
I completely agree with you because people's perception and players' perception of what scanning is or brain training is nowhere near to what it actually should be. For example, let's say, for example, scanning, they think, oh yeah, check your shoulders, boom, and then they does it, and then they turn and then they get tackled, for example. That yeah, you might have scanned, but did you process information? What was your scanning frequency like? What was your scanning timing? Did you scan too early, or did you just scan once, but you didn't scan as you're receiving the ball? So that's the critical scanning. So again, if you know what you're doing, F tier. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it's kind of like hit and miss, and you're not gonna reap the rewards that you're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. By the time this video will be out, I will have already my 8-week scanning program out. I highly recommend you to purchase it. This is what we are talking about here, and this is guided by me. Best thing you can do for your football career.
I completely agree with you. Make sure, guys, hit the link in the bio, hit the link in the description. Oh no, okay. After like I said, I've already tried it. Best thing we've ever done.
A tier for me.
Agreed?
Next one is practicing shooting with a defender. And this is an interesting one because I'm a striker, Ahmed is a defender. Do you think that practicing shooting with a defender or defending shots with a striker is correlating with the game?
100% because at the end of the day, you've got to practice shooting unopposed and opposed as well. Ability to do double movements or ability to hold off the player, learn how to shield the ball and stuff like that. You, all your training should consist of like unopposed training, opposed training, different scenarios, different shooting angles, different phase of play that's applicable to your game and your position and to your formation as well.
I would also even say that many players, when they train shooting, they, for example, bring a goalkeeper. They put him in goal. I would rather to take this goalkeeper and put him as my defender and practice shooting this way, and then in the goal just put cones or whatever and aim for the outsides. I would think that this will give you much bigger improvements than just practicing with a goalkeeper that doesn't have any defenders, any people in front of him.
Completely agree.
A tier.
100%.
Okay. Next one is for Ahmed. Cold showers, cold plunges, cold therapy. What do you think about that one?
Now, studies have been shown that you need to be careful when you're doing them. It's really important. So, for example, after a strength session or plyometric session, whatever, I'd highly advise against it because you're ruining your gains, let's just say. Inflammation is really important for adaptation in your body. And if you're delaying inflammation, then there's no you're delaying the recovery and the adaptation that you need to make the changes necessary for your performances. So, and this goes the same thing with new studies have shown that you should not ice injuries in the first 3 to 5 days. So, because it just slows down the inflammation phase of your healing and recovery stages. So inflammation is the first part of the healing process. If you delay that by incorporating cold exposure, then all you're doing is you're delaying the recovery phase.
Okay, so like you are saying, like when it's this common belief that okay, I'm injured, I sprained my ankle, I should put an ice on it. You are saying that this is not working?
Initially, you shouldn't. The same thing, you shouldn't take anti-inflammatories as well. In the first 3 to 5 days, and then afterwards you can to try and manage the symptoms. So
Interesting.
again, cold exposure is really good if you know what you're doing with it and timing. But other than that, I would not recommend it. Post matches, they're okay. But I'd recommend doing it the day after the game. To try to speed up the rate of recovery. Now, with cold alone is not that great, but cold and hot doing contrast has a much better benefit to your recovery than just cold exposure by itself. So for me, that is a between D and a C.
Mm. But let me then ask you, like you see many players doing the plunges after the games. Like, do you think that they are just stupid? This is like common belief that is wrong, or is it actually something there that is in there?
Like I say, like you can do it after the game, but like I say, you want that inflammation state to happen in order to facilitate adaptation.
That's a key
So
one.
that's why it's really important. That's why Jose Mourinho, whenever in pre-season, he said no one's allowed cold blunders. So yeah, like I said, there's interviews about this, so you can look more into it, and studies have debunked it at the minute. So um, like I said, it has its benefits, but timing and knowing when to use it and how to use it, a lot of players don't know. And like I say, they think, oh yeah, you should spend in it for like 20 minutes. Anyway, 3 to 5 minutes is more than enough. And they think it should be like -1 degree in the water, but they say anything between 8 to 10 degrees is enough as well.
That's like I can tell you from experience when I was playing for a pro team. I was having a coach that was giving us mandatory ice baths after the games. You were not allowed to leave the dressing room without taking this cold plunge. And back then, I already knew that this what you are saying it now, saying it that this is like lengthening actually the recovery process. And I just had to finesse myself from it, like not going fully with my legs or like like trying to finesse it. And this is like many coaches think that this is smart and good, but this is outdated knowledge.
Uh, 100%. It's the same thing with like, they say, oh, static stretches is good. Other, like movement stretches is better. You should never do static stretches before training. That's the most stupidest thing you can do.
Mm. Okay, next one I can also give you compression garments.
For me, it's a D or an E, because again, it's that extra 1%, 2%. But if your nutrition is poor, sleep is poor, hydration is poor, managing workload is poor, your mental health is poor, there's no point. It's literally, again, it's an addition, it's a supplementation to your recovery. So for me, compression garments, recovery boots, all that type of stuff, they are good, but they're useless if you don't have the main foundations.
Yeah, I would say B tier because I feel like if you take a walk in the nature, it would give you more recovery benefits than actually having these recovery things on yourself. That's my own experience, and I have compression boots myself.
Like I say, there's for its price, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, B.
And,
Nice.
and for me, it's way lower than B, way lower.
We take it lower.
Way lower, bro. Bro, it's 1,200 now, bro. That's crazy money, bro.
Yeah. Okay, we take it to the D tier. Screw anything else what Ahmed said about A and B. We put it in D. Okay. Next one is also for you. Isometrics for a footballer.
S, S tier. For me, S tier. This
Why?
is the most, this is the most underutilized training. For me, there's two types of training that footballers don't do enough and those get injured. Eccentric training and isometric training. Now, Patrick,
What's eccentric training? Isometric, can you explain it?
so for those of you guys don't know, when the muscle contracts, the muscle contracts in three phases. So you've got your shortening phase. So let's use the bicep, your shortening phase, okay? Isometric phase is the in-between phases, okay, where you're holding it in a certain position, okay? And then your lengthening phase is your eccentric phase. Now, isometric phase is really important for stabilization and is really important for maximization of that muscle contraction. So increasing improving your nervous system performances, etc., and increasing your motor unit contraction. So for undertrained athletes, your brain demands the muscle to work at a certain percentage, and it's anywhere between 30 to 40%. When you push that demand, the best way to get you can push that demand to more like 50-55 is through isometric training. So maximum pushing ISOs as much as you can, pushing through your immovable object. Not only are you training the muscle recruitment and the muscle itself, you're training the tendons as well to become stiff and rigid and explosive. And Patrick, you must have heard, even Ronaldo, he has tendonitis issues and stuff like that. Even yourself, Patrick, you had tendonitis issue, but the minute you integrated isometric and eccentric strength, all of that tendinopathy pain is gone away. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I would also say, like, I see now many kids having the tendon problems in the knees, especially.
And all that is, guys, is when the bones and the joints are growing at a faster rate compared to your muscles and your tendons, and your muscles and tendons become thin and brittle, and then they become, it's what they call it, growing pains. So again, very, very important to train isometrically, and it's the most easiest thing that you can train. You don't need much weights.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, I'm gonna start. This is the tactical fouls on training sessions, especially. So this is mandem that, for example, are, instead of when you dribble them, instead of tackling, they are just holding your shirt, and either they win the ball, the coach is saying nothing, or they get a foul, you get a foul against them. And this is something that I hate on the lower levels. When are games and you see a player getting beaten, he is using his ego and he is just stopping you illegally. And tell me, Ahmed, do you think that this is developing anybody? Is anyone getting better if a player is doing a tactical foul on training session?
Yeah, I think having the dark art of football has its time and place. Yeah, you might not like it, or yeah, it doesn't look nice, but it wins you games. So, and at the end of the day, that's the difference between youth level academy mindset and first team mindset. Youth level academy mindset is all about development, improvement, la la la, ooh, nice. And then first team football mindset is 3 points. There's money on the line. Football is a business. So at the end of the day, that's what football is. So it's a result-driven field. And like I said, competition is a war. So if you sometimes knowing how to cheat or when to cheat, it's part of the game. But and it's not nice. But at the end of the day, competition as well. So for me, understanding that, for me, it's a B tier for me.
Mm.
But you shouldn't use it all the time. It's knowing when, as and when to use it. So it should only be like a few percent of your game.
It's like your armor for your status. If you get beaten, at least grab a shirt, so you don't let the other guy just pass you and park you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like I say, if you know he's a very good player or whatever, like the one thing I used to do is I used to tackle hard, but then I used to leave my studs as well to make sure that within the first 5 minutes I've killed him.
Mm.
So
Okay, moving on. Probably know what's that. It's VR training, aka Be Your Best. We have both used it. I have used it when I was injured. I was working with them when they started as a startup. I was the first person to work with them like as a player and give them feedback way before Martin Odegaard. So I can tell you from my experience that I would put it in the C tier. If
yeah,
you're
I agree with you.
if you're injured, okay, there is a time and space for it, but it costs some money, it costs subscription, but it's not as they are marketing it. They are not paying me anything now, so I can tell you that it's much marketing with that as well. Like, okay, it teaches you scanning principles and scanning habit in general. It's like good introduction, but it won't transfer to the game as much as they are promising it will transfer.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about situational awareness. When the ball's under your feet, how does the body feel? How does the body move with you? As well as that, it's good to train your brain to think faster and like make decisions faster. But there's no guarantee that the body will follow on the pitch. So again, like training to be life as much as you can. Really, it's just an extra. Again, it's a supplement. It's a very good extra tool. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm. Between B and C or C?
I say yes, C and D. C.
C, okay. Okay, the last one. Ahmed, I can give you this one. Custom insoles.
A load of my ass. Yeah, E. I don't even need to say anything. Straight E. Don't even want to look at that, to be honest.
Do you think professional football players have their custom insoles?
In all honesty, you've got to ask yourself why you're wearing insoles. For me, it's like wearing a back brace. It's like wearing a posture brace. It's like wearing a knee brace. It's good and okay, but at the end of the day, it just manages symptoms. It doesn't fix the root cause. Same thing when you're strapping your ankle and stuff like that. If you end up becoming dependent on it to perform, all you're doing is making the structures around the feet or whatever weaker in the long run because you're overly dependent on it. So that's my firm belief in souls. So I'm not believing in them.
I would also say, like, you can agree or disagree with me as a physio, but I feel like feet, especially footballers' feet, should be robust. They should be ugly, tough, beaten down. But that's the way that you see, like, many footballers has ugly feet, like many blisters, many ingrown nails and things like that. And this is like the part of this sport. So, like, your feet needs to be tough. It cannot be softened on a cushion or baby feet. It needs to be tough and nasty.
Yeah, man. Listen, if you want to do that and you've got a foot fetish, then be my guest. But at the end of the day, like, use it or lose it, I would say this, I mean.
Mm. Okay, so that was our tier list. Ahmed, thank you so much for participating. I hope that we can make some more tier lists in the future, or maybe some other videos. And do you have like a final message to the audience?
No, if you guys like this type of video, comment below what type of topic that you want us to go through, whether it be nutrition, whether it be performance, whether it be a tier list for gym exercises, what type of gym exercise to do and stuff like that. Leave a comment below and then we'll make sure to do a video like this.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. See you next time. Bye bye.
Catch you guys soon from Pain to Performance. See you.